The first day in El Paso began long before the stage lights went up. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere was much more relaxed, almost like a group of friends preparing for a big adventure. Small laughs rang through the crew, light footsteps filled the practice room, and the energy flowed naturally. Amidst it all, Jimin and Jungkook seemed inseparable. It wasn't something new to fans, but it always felt special. They walked side by side, sharing small whispers, occasionally laughing for no apparent reason. Those simple moments that felt the most meaningful. Soundcheck began with an atmosphere far from stiff. The music played, but rather than being serious, the members enjoyed every second. Free movements, spontaneous dancing, and even small interactions with ARMY who had arrived earlier created a warm and intimate atmosphere. When FY came on, the energy turned even more lively. Jungkook moved freely, energetically, while Jimin followed with his signature smooth yet expressive style. Without needing many words, the two seemed to understand each other's rhythm. In between rehearsals, there was light conversation that wasn't always clear. But from their expressions, from the way they looked at each other, it was clear that their relationship wasn't merely professional. There was a comfort that wasn't feigned. The ARMY who watched the soundcheck that day felt something different. This wasn't just a rehearsal, it was a small window into BTS's most human side. No filters, no pressure, just them being themselves. But when night fell and the concert officially began, everything changed. The lights grew brighter, the music blared louder, and the crowd's energy increased exponentially. BTS were once again the superstars who captivated the world. Yet, amidst the grandeur of the stage production, the small details still stole the show. A brief glance between Jimin and Jungkook, a smile that flashed at the right moment, and movements that seemed unrehearsed. Every step they took on stage felt like an unfolding story. Not just about music, but about their relationship, about trust, about the long journey they'd been on together. And then the moment happened. Amidst resounding cheers, without any clear warning, Jungkook approached. Jimin, as if already knowing, didn't back down. In a matter of seconds, they embraced, brief, but full of meaning. There were no special effects, no overdramatization. But that's precisely where its power lay. The hug felt real, sincere, and so human. The entire stadium reacted. Screams, tears, and applause mingled together. ARMY knew they had just witnessed something unrepeatable. To some, it might have been just another hug. But to those who have followed BTS's journey, it symbolized something deeper. A bond that had been built over years. After that moment, the two continued their performance as if nothing had happened.
But the aura around them changed.
There was a lingering warmth, something difficult to describe in words. Other small interactions felt even more special. Bilingual jokes, small heart-shaped gestures toward the audience, and smiles that seemed to speak more than words. That day in El Paso wasn't just about the concert. It was about the small moments that make big memories. About how simple things can have an extraordinary impact. Jimin and Jungkook, effortlessly, once again demonstrated why they're so beloved. Not just for their talent, but for the sincerity they displayed. And when the stage lights finally dimmed, the one thing that remained in the hearts of everyone present was a warm feeling, a memory that won't be easily forgotten. Because sometimes, amidst the glitz and glamour of the entertainment world, it's the simplest moments that become the most enduring. But the story of the night wasn't truly over. After the main stage dimmed, the lingering energy felt even stronger in the minds of fans. Many remained transfixed, trying to process what they had just witnessed, a small moment that felt so much bigger than just a mere segment of the concert. Backstage, the atmosphere calmed once again. Sweat, heavy breathing, and relieved laughter mingled together. The BTS members greeted each other, giving each other light pats on the shoulder, as if to say, "We did it," without needing any words. Jimin sat for a moment, trying to calm himself after the intense energy he'd unleashed on stage. His face still radiated a raw emotion. Meanwhile, Jungkook approached with a relaxed expression, but his eyes still held flashes of the moment that had just occurred. Without much words, they shared the same space again, This time without the cameras and thousands of eyes. There was something different about the silence, something only the two of them could understand. Perhaps to the outside world, the hug was just a small part of the overall performance. But behind it, there was a long story not everyone knew. Years of training, shared struggles, and emotional journeys that shaped who they were today. Such a relationship isn't built overnight. It grows slowly, through small moments that often go unnoticed. And precisely because of that, every simple gesture feels so meaningful. Meanwhile, armies around the world began flooding social media with their reactions. Short clips, screenshots, and in-depth analyses emerged within minutes. Everyone tried to interpret the moment in their own way. Some saw it as a symbol of friendship, others as a form of emotional support, and still others simply felt touched without any explanation. And perhaps all of those interpretations are equally valid. Because ultimately, the power of such a moment lies in the feeling it evokes. Not in a rigid definition, but in how it can touch the hearts of so many people simultaneously. As time passed, that moment in El Paso began to transform into more than just a concert memory. It became a story that lives on, retold, analyzed, and re-experienced by fans around the world. Some began to realize that what made that moment so powerful wasn't its scale, but its honesty. In an industry often filled with scripts and planning, what happened that night felt raw and real. Jimin and Jungkook, without needing to explain anything, managed to convey something far deeper than words. A feeling that can only be understood if experienced firsthand, either by themselves or by those who witnessed it. And perhaps that's why the moment endures. It relies not on visual effects or grand concepts, but on the most basic of human connections: trust, comfort, and togetherness. In the days that followed, the concerts continued, city by city, stage by stage. But for many ARMY, El Paso remained a distinct place. There was something lingering there, something that could never be repeated. Even for Jimin and Jungkook themselves, that night was likely one of many moments they cherished, not to explain, but to remember. And ultimately, that's the beauty of a journey like this. It's not just about what's seen on stage, but about the small moments that quietly add up to a larger story, a story that will live on, even long after the music has stopped.